Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
I wrote this little tune when I was down in Coffeyville, Kansas, staying with this elderly storyteller named Zelda. One night, she told me a little story. Said when I was a young girl, my mom had a house. It was right next to the train yards. I can remember the old hobos. They used to get off the trains. They used to make a beeline to my mother's door. Well, they'd tell her a sad story, and she'd always feel sorry for them and give them something hot to eat. The next morning, I'd get up to go to school. I found there was a big fat cat drawn with chalk on the sidewalk. And I didn't know what that was till years later when someone told me it was the hobo's secret sign for a kind-hearted woman. The life of a singer is a hard road to hoe, driving in the wind, the rain, and the snow. All night on the highway with miles left to go. Towns you never heard of, people you don't know. Chalk cat on a doorstep, smile across the face. Stew pot overflowing with the warmth and grace. Like her mother before her, she's gentle and kind. Way down in Kansas on the Oklahoma line. The hobos of yesterday would always make a sign on the doorway of someone who was so very kind. They draw a cat on the sidewalk where it wasn't hard to find to help the next traveler ease their troubled mind. Chalk cat on a doorstep, smile across the face. Stew pot overflowing with the warmth and grace. Like her mother before her, she's gentle and kind. Way down in Kansas on the Oklahoma line. Friends in towns or cities help lighten up the load. A beacon of sunshine on the dark and lonely road. We sing and talk till midnight, awaken at dawn with wet eyes and goodbyes. Sing our farewell songs. Chalk cat on a doorstep, smile across the face. Stew pot overflowing with the warmth and grace. Like her mother before her, she's gentle and kind. Way down in Kansas on the Oklahoma line.
All right, all right, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Horses Sing None of It. Finally, you don't know what we've been through to put this show on here. Folks, my name is Ralph Litwin, and you've been listening to the music of a fella who's been sponsored by the National Polish Airlines, and he's played in over 1,000 schools all across the United States, and he's had nice things said about him by such people as Jimmy Driftwood and Pete Seeger and Utah Phillips. And his name right here is Rick Palieri.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Ralph.
Nice to have you on the show, Rick, all the way down from Vermont today.
Well, luckily the traffic wasn't so bad.
Good. Wasn't as bad as the traffic we've had here in the studio.
No. We've had a kind of a slow-moving day here.
Slow-moving day here.
Right.
Well, that was a nice song and a nice story to go with it.
Yeah, well, I like to write little songs about Americana. Those little stories that you hear, and sometimes if you can get a good handle on it, and you can make a neat little song. Yeah, it's another song I'd like to share with you.
All righty.
And this one also has a story behind it. You see, my mother-in-law, she turned 80 a few years ago. And she wanted to do something special to mark that occasion. So she took her 2 daughters and they went out to a tree nursery and they got a linden tree. And then they brought it home, and then right in the center of our yard, we dug a big hole and we planted that linden tree. And we had a little celebration. All of her friends gathered round, and she made a little speech. She said, I don't know how much longer I have here on this earth. When you hit 80, you never know. And when my time comes, I want you to take my body and to cremate it and to plant it with this tree in the yard. And then every time you look outside, you'll see that tree, and it'll be like the family still keeps growing along. So I wrote a little song about it, and as I started singing it, you know, Ralph, more and more people, they came over and told me little tales about their own family, how they planted a tree in celebration of a new baby or a loved one who had passed on. So I'd like to share this song with your audience. It goes like this. Yes. When it's time to leave this earth, give my ashes to the dirt. Dig a hole on a mountainside and plant a tree with me inside. Plant a tree, plant a tree, plant a tree and think of me. I'll be standing by your side. Plant a tree, I'll never die. Shower me with sun and rain till my roots start to grow again. You won't miss me when I'm gone. I'll be with you all year long. I'll be there in the winter, I'll be there in the spring, from the first snowfall till the robin sings, through the hazy days of summer till the leaves begin to fall. I'll keep on growing true and tall. When your children sing and play, let them through my branches sway. Jump and roll in autumn's leaves, carve their names for all to see. Plant a tree, plant a tree, plant a tree and think of me. I'll be standing by your side. Plant a tree, I'll never die. Years will come and the years will go till I'm so old I cannot grow. Then chop me up for wood to burn, but save a seed so I may return. Plant a tree, plant a tree, plant a tree and think of me. I'll be standing by your side. Plant a tree, I'll never die. Plant a tree, plant a tree, plant a tree and think of me. I'll be standing by your side and we'll keep reaching for the sky.
All right. Very nice.
Thank you.
Now, of course, Rick, I remember you from years ago. You used to live in New Jersey, right?
That's right. I was born in Newark, and then I lived in East Brunswick, New Jersey. That's where I grew up. And I used to hang out down at the Rutgers folk scene down there at Mine Street Coffee House, and helped get a few festivals together. It was the Festival of Blueberries. Remember you played at that one?
Yeah, sure do.
And the Raritan River Festival. It's been a while. I've been living in Vermont now for Oh boy, it's almost about 15 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's a nice place to
Time
live.
flies when you're having fun.
Sure enough.
Well, we should show folks your recording here. And while we're doing that, I noticed that you have a bunch of different instruments here. You want to
Sure
show
enough.
us what some of them are? You play a lot of different instruments.
Well, I've got this one here is kind of neat. I'll just give you a little snatch of it. You know, this is a Lakota Plains love flute from the Native American culture, and I learned how to play it from Kevin Locke, one of the masters. I had to go through a traditional sweat lodge with Kevin because he wanted to make sure I was sincere about this thing. They don't like to just teach anybody how to play the cording flute. But I'll just give your listeners a tiny taste of it.
Right, that's very pretty. But Rick, if that was a proposal, I must tell you that I'm already married.
Well, you know, at one time they said that this type of an instrument in the Native American culture had so much power that they could woo a young maiden into a kind of a love trance. And if the composer was good enough. And if he wasn't good enough, he'd have to trade away his best horse to these fellows, the elk dreamers, and they would compose a song to win her heart. And luckily, because of Carlos Nakai and Kevin Locke, a lot of people are starting to play this old flute again. It was almost extinct for a while, but thank God a lot of people are carrying on this tradition.
Beautifully made thing, too.
And I have another unusual instrument here.
Are any of these instruments on your recording here?
Not on this particular one. This one is all my original music, and but I do have other tapes out with some of these unusual instruments.
Some of the unusual instruments.
Now this one here, Ralph, comes from my own background. My mom was born in a village in southern Poland, and when I was a young boy, she used to tell me stories about her country. And one day I was leafing through a National Geographic magazine, and I saw a picture of a Polish bagpiper, and you can imagine my surprise because I didn't know the Poles had pipes, and this got me onto a whole long quest to find this old instrument. And luckily, the Kosciuszko Foundation, one of the major Polish foundations, gave me a grant, let me go over and study with the last of the old pipers. Now, as you notice, I'm pumping up this what looks like a fireplace bellows, and that's what inflates the bag. And this is one drone, like the Scottish have like 3 drones, so this just has one drone here and one melody pipe or a chanter. And the bag is made out of goat. They use a female goat because the males stink, so I've been told. And it has a very unusual sound, so I'm going to give you... All right, calm down. All right, you ready now? Come on. Ukavola kuchmoravano, ukavola kuchmoravano, kuźniczka, kuźniczka, a za kuźna z kowliczkiem zuziczka, kuźniczka, kuźniczka, a za kuźna z kowliczkiem zuziczka. Now, as you can see, the pipe kind of
All right.
has a mind of its own.
I
Sometimes
see.
the spirit of the goat really gets in the way. But I have another instrument, and I thought we could maybe do a song together.
All right.
With this one, because you had a pretty good tune on the banjo there.
Okay.
And this is an Ozark mouth bow. And I learned this from old Jimmy Driftwood down in Timbo, Arkansas. And we're going to try and play one of those old favorites here with me picking on the Ozark mouth bow. And see. Ready?
And a black snake grabbed me by my heel. I turned around for to do my best. Stuck my head in a hornet nest. Turkey in a straw. Turkey in a hay. What you say? A bullfrog danced his mother-in-law. Sing a little tune called Turkey in a Straw. I'm blown away. Turkey in a straw, turkey in a hay. What you say? Bullfrog danced with his mother-in-law. Sing a little tune called Turkey in a Straw. Well, an earthquake came when that was gone. Swallowed up the land my house was on. Tax collector came around, charged me rates on a hole in the ground. Turkey in a straw, turkey in a hay. What you say? A bullfrog danced with his mother-in-law. Sing a little tune called Turkey in a Straw. All right. The old mouth bow. An autographed model from Jimmy Driftwood.
Oh, yeah. We can pick this up here and move it into the camera here. There's old Jimmy Driftwood there. He'll autograph this, and he's going to be 89 years old in June. And he's a real icon of Americana here in America. It's great to have him still around.
Was he not the composer of that famous hit?
In 1814,
that's
we
the
took
one.
a little trip. Yeah, the Battle of New Orleans and Tennessee Stud, another one.
Oh, wow.
Great Jimmy Driftwood tune.
You know, that song, the Battle of New Orleans, was the first song that I heard somebody play live on an instrument. It was the first song that inspired me to actually learn how to play an instrument.
All right. Well, I'm sure that Jimmy would get a kick out of that. So what do you want to hear now?
Well, what do you want to play now?
Well, we could play this old, do we have enough time to?
We got about 10 minutes to go, yeah.
All right. This is a big old 12-string guitar here. Let's see. And you have a harmonica with you.
I do. What key do you want to be in?
I think we want to be in D.
Okay. We should, before we get too far here, we should tell folks how to get in touch with you at your telephone number in case they want to get on your mailing list or find out about your recordings.
You can get in touch with me. Call area code 802, that's Vermont, and then 482-3185. Or if you're inclined, you can contact me by email, and that's maryki@aol.com. And I'll be glad to exchange some tunes and stuff, ideas, through the email.
You're in the electronic age.
That's right. Folk music in the electronic age. You know, Ralph, you're such a good harp player that I thought I'd just put you to work here.
Okay,
And we'll do an old Leadbelly tune, the Good Morning Blues. We were jamming out in the hallway there. It sounded so great. And I'm going to play it on the Bruce Taylor's big old 12-string guitar. Let's see if we can. Well, good morning, blues. Blues, how do you do? Well, good morning, blues. Blues, how do you do? was turning from side to side. Oh, I was turning from side to side. I wasn't sad, I was just dissatisfied. Blow that thing out. Woo! Good morning, how are you? Walk on now. Well, she left me on Sunday, but here she comes walking today. Oh, well, here she comes walking today. She got her mouth wide open, but she ain't got nothing to say. Blues, how do you do? Well, good morning, blues. Blues, how do you do? I'm doing all right. Well, good morning. How are you? Bring on home now.
Yeah, Rick. All right.
We're cooking up a storm here. We have time to do another one here, or?
I got about 4 or 5 minutes to go on our show here.
All right. Well, I think we should play a tune on the banjo. What do you think there?
That sounds like an idea to me.
All right. We're just moving through the paces here. This is live, you know.
This is live television right here, public access.
Well, one of my favorite songs, I first heard it when I started playing banjo when I was 15. I used to work at a wire and cable mill here in Linden, New Jersey, and I had a little tape recorder, and listening to this song, June Apple, played by Wade Ward, and it got me in trouble. What happened is I had the tape recorder going, and it was a midnight shift, and all the guys, they started dancing around the machinery. And the boss came by, saw everybody dancing, saw the tape recorder. Well, I got laid off, and it actually turned into a really good thing, because that's how I was able to start really doing music full time. Unemployment was great back in the 70s, and so we're going to do this little bit of the Wade Ward tune, this June Apple. You ready?
Yeah. Dismissed for having too much fun.
That's right. sitting on the tree. Every time a true love passes, she take a bite of me. It's peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. I can have the one I love, won't have none at all. Well, when I was a little boy, I wanted a Marlowe knife. Now I am much older now, I want myself a wife. I wish I was a Juneau bull sitting on the tree. Every time a true love passes, she'd take a bite of me. Mountain Road, 15 miles of sand. If I pass this way again, I'll be a married man. I wish I was a Juneau bull sitting on the tree. Every time a true love passes, she'd take a bite of me. Play that hard now.
Pleasure having you on the show, Rick.
It's always a pleasure to meet you. I wish I was